for me, entrepreneurship has always been the way.
Investing is important because it's the only way you are going to be able to get rich and wealthy for your family. We can close the wealth gap by working together.
Market Monday is the biggest investment show ever.
My life has literally changed since watching EYL.
When you can make people money and you can add value, they're going to be forever indebted to you.
And I promise you this year, I'm going to make y'all even more money.
Disclaimer, do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Let's build our knowledge, our community, and our brokerage accounts. Love is love.
Love is love. Happy Monday. How you
Love
doing?
is love. We good, man. How you feeling? How you feeling? Welcome back. It is first Monday of July, man. July 6th. Shout out to all the cancers out there. It is a bit rainy here in New York. We came off of a heat wave, and now it's like a storm that is just won't go away. So we blessed to be here, though, man. How you feeling?
Blessed, highly favored. Charlemagne. I'm great, though. I had a great fourth. Happy to be back here. Shotty, how are you feeling? I know there are no flamingos in New York, but there was where you were. Are you, my brother?
Perhaps we brought him back.
I'm good, man. Back. Shout out to the good people of Aruba. Was out there for a little bit. But I'm back, man. You know, we are getting ready for InvestFest. Got a lot going on. Big week for us. We are live episode on Wednesday of Blackout for you live warriors out there.
Why does that matter so much? Like, walk me through the content strategy.
Oh man!
You guys live today, bro?
This
write
is
the
live.
information down.
This is live.
It will be.
Was your account live?
All live.
That's what matters for real.
Facts.
But we're here live.
Or not.
We here. Blackout will be live on Wednesday at 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. So that means we can answer questions from the audience, real time pivot and questions if we need to. It's gonna be fun. 9:00 Wednesday, very important. Thursday at 12:00 Eastern Standard Time, we got a dope entrepreneur, Sway the Pro. Man, she's revolutionized the Salon Suite business. When you're talking about, you know, entrepreneur ATL, Salon Suite, she's going to be at InvestFest. She put together a whole panel for InvestFest, but this is heavy in the Salon Suite business. When you're talking about eyebrows, when you're talking about nails, when you're talking about hair, male and female hair, by the way, makeup. The Salon Suite, we covered this twice already. This is the third time, because each time that we've covered it, it's been a different spin on it and a different take. Her take is different from the last person that we had. Jay Majors was the last person. He owns the real estate. It's a real estate play. Her thing is she leases. Sometimes she leases to own the property. Sometimes she just leases, but it's a whole business model how she handles it. 6 months free. She said she gets 6 months free out the deal sometimes. No rent. She said, "Oh, it's so interesting."
Yeah, her model's interesting, but it's effective, and she's been able to scale it. I think that'd be one of the things that we forget about business is that, we got it up and running. We're doing well. We're making money. Can you scale? And she's been able to do that. I think that's dope. Like when you compare and contrast some of the past episodes in this space and how everybody does business differently, because you can take that as a gumbo soup and say, all right, well, I'm going to take a little piece of each of them and create my own path. So this is definitely going to be one of the ones that you should be taking notes, but figuring out a way to create your own path to scale.
Yes, sir.
Chimera.
Check it out. For sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And we got a lot to talk about in Blackout. So make sure you tap into Blackout. A few more announcements we'll make later on in the show. Ian, any announcements?
If you want to go get rich from the market, go to ianinvest.com. I've been dropping clips in Telegram from our stock club call, but the replay will be out this week. Prices will be out this week as well. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. Red Panda. Let me get some red pandas in chat and let's have an amazing show. And shout out to my guy, Dave Shan's social proof. Me and Shotty kill shit on stage. Shout out to Jessica, Troy, and DDG.
Yeah, shout out to Dave, man. That was a good event.
It's a great event.
I was, we've been watching him on social media. Obviously, we know him in real life, but to watch him promote the event, to see the turnout that he had, I thought that was really dope, man. So shout out to him and his entire team. We know what it is to put on an event, so we know that that lead up and actually being there and executing, and then having the next day to say, all right, we got it done. How are we looking for next year, man? So shout out to him. That was pretty dope.
Yes, sir.
And happy birthday to my nephew, man. He's officially a teenager. Xavier, happy birthday, my boy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes,
happy birthday. Okay. Let's get it. Investment fact of the week.
It's a few of them. Number one, on a 5-year rolling basis, U.S. stocks have outperformed international stocks. We know that. Number two, July on average is up 3.2% for the month of July. So for everyone who's worried, we were talking about it earlier, everyone who wants to be a perma bear and short the market, this is not a month to do it. July is usually really good. Number three, Google is projected to double to $247 billion in profit in the next 3 years. The Russell 2000 climbed 22% in the first 6 months of the year. The ticker is IWM if you want to invest into it. SMH was up 2% today. Microsoft cuts 4,800 jobs, and a post that went kind of viral. It cost $303,000 to raise one child in the United States of America. To all of you dads who get on the post and say, it doesn't cost that much, you're telling on yourself that you don't know what the rates are. Ease up. Like, unless you are in Iowa or certain parts of Arkansas, you're telling that you don't pay for the child support and then the child care shit. And one of the biggest businesses that private equity is starting to invade is child care services. This is part of the reason why we'll talk about that more in Blackout. But the lesson from that I want you to take, because when I first had Xander, the number I think was 115. To see that number balloon from 115 to 303, by the time our kids have kids, that number will be a half a ticket. Invest for the long term.
Okay, that was a lot of facts right there, man.
Real quick,
all of them are good. I saw an interesting fact about. And I'm glad you brought up SMH and SOX because we've been seeing kind of volatility in the semiconductor space, definitely in the memory space. But SOX X and SMH have traded between 2.5% to 4% over the past 10 days. Both negative and positive. And so for newcomers to that, what does that speak to? Yes, volatility, but it also means that there's consolidation. If something goes up 2%, down with 2%, up 2%. So you're starting to see that sideways pattern of consolidation, which means, number one, is it a retest or is it a reset, right? Are we seeing profit taking or are we seeing something that is going to be more drastic? I think this is going to be a big week in determining what we're looking at in this little short term of volatility over the past, I'd say 3 or 4 weeks. Obviously, with Samsung reporting, actually in the next half hour, we got TSM and ASML next week, and then we'll talk about SK Hynix IPO in this week.
Yeah,
a very big week to see where this consolidation is headed. Can we be consolidating and now having an uptrend, or will we consolidate a little bit longer throughout the summer?
Steve, what's lame about reporting the facts and taking care of your family? I'll put the money.
We live, man.
We live. I'll put the money away for my child till he's 43. What's lame about that? Let me help you. I love you dearly from the bottom of my heart.
From the depths of my heart, I love
for
you.
Real.
Number 2, King number. What does that mean when he has a number 2 next to it? Crown number 2.
I think I'm not sure what that means. It's an XP thing. Does that mean that they like every time that they come in? Yeah, so they get like okay. That's a regular.
Thank you. That's
Thank
amazing.
you. I appreciate that. Love is love.
Yeah, that's love. Oh, and shout out to Crystal. Last week I reported she started with 10,000, grew her account to 343,000 from investing into the market long term. You can get big gains from holding long term without futures and options. Now, if you put the futures and the options with it in combination, infinite options. So I think that's pretty dope.
Okay. Shout out to all the community.
Shout out to the community. Sasha Digital. Shout out to you.
I will say this before we go into the next topic. Invest Fest this year, Thursday, we're doing something that's never been done before. We're doing a all day Invest Fest for the youth. And it's going to be schools. I think how many schools?
Right now, we have 6 schools. We have over 500 students from New York and the Atlanta greater region. We've been doing it for the past 5 years of bringing kids down from New York and kind of like saying we could just show them the possibilities and almost forgetting that we're in a major city that has plenty of high schools and plenty of young people that are willing to learn and have access to information at a higher rate when you're talking about all the entrepreneurs that are in the city of Atlanta. And so we're bringing Atlanta City schools this year as well. We had some talks about bringing some other cities, which I'm sure we'll do in the future. But I'm excited for it, man. This is, people have been asking for it. And they, you know, we used to get the question, can my kids come to InvestFest? So here comes your answer. We're starting out here with the high school students, and it's going to be a full day of programming that is catered directly to and for them. It's going to be incredible. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of cater, so we're going to leave some open spots too for people that, if your child does not actually go to one of these schools, we'll leave some spots open for kids that can go to this outside of just the schools that are going as a collective unit. But Thursday, that's the opening. That's August. What is that?
August 6th. Yep, August 6th.
August 6th. Now it's 300 kids, 400 kids.
We got 500 right now.
500. So here's an opportunity for a business owner in Atlanta, if you're interested. We are looking for a caterer. We're looking for a caterer. It don't gotta be nothing crazy. These is high school kids. You know, lunch. Lunch is not, we're not putting together a 5-star dinner. But, you know, we just need to cater lunch. We respect the time. So obviously it's not, we don't expect anybody to do it for free. But a discount would be appreciated, and we could use the barter system. You know, we could definitely highlight your business. Look, this is an opportunity. We could figure it out. We could figure it out where it's mutually, because this is not paid. We're not getting paid for this. This is these kids are free. They're coming in for free. So we could figure out something that's mutually beneficial to a business owner in the greater Atlanta area. If you're interested in catering a lunch for high school students that's learning about finance on that Thursday. If you are interested, serious inquiries only, please DM valid_ASO. He's in our bio. Link in bio, like in Instagram, if you go in our bio, he's the COO. His name is Abdullah. All you gotta do is just go to the bio. He's tagged in the bio.
And better if you're in Red Panda. So shoot me a message if you are. I connect you, get you a little highlight, talk about you on stage, invest in kids.
We got some more announcements. Ian and I had a conversation. So as we get closer to the event, we'll let go of some of the announcements that we have in store for our young adults.
That's a fact.
We appreciate you, my brother.
Only the family.
Yeah, so
Ian love the kids, yo.
So if you're interested, no bologna though. You can't.
No bologna, no cinnamon toast crunch.
Bologna and cheese out the question.
If my kid can't eat it, I'm not gonna let it. If you need some subsidies, I'm feeling like Brad Gerstner. If you need some subsidies, I got you. I'll add to it.
Fact. No bologna, please.
Yeah. Nope. You gotta do the Norway play and import the good food for the kids.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Don't feed the kids anything you wouldn't feed yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are eating bologna themselves, though. That's another story. We'll talk about that later on.
Bologna with the mustard sandwich.
We talk about that later on.
Most nights ate sleep for dinner.
So yeah, if you're interested, hit up AB valid_ASO. And hey, look, there was a water company at one point in time that actually gave out free water at InvestFest. They turned out to be the official water sponsor of InvestFest.
That's a fact.
And we had an episode with them. You never know how these mutual, you never know.
That's a fact.
These things come.
Can I be honest? The best way to get in the door is by doing it for free. Like even to this day, we do it. This is my favorite model. Results. I talked about it at Chance thing, but if you really want to break out, give the result in advance. Yes, it may cost you a little bit up front, but to build a relationship, get in the door, now you're first on the draft board.
That's a fact.
It makes a world of difference.
That's a fact. Yeah, just go. Yeah, our Sprinter guy.
Official transportation.
I use him just to get from the airport just now.
Yeah.
How he got in with us is he gave us the Sprinter for the first year for free. Now he's the official transportation anywhere in the world that we go. He's the official transportation guy that we use. So look, sometimes in life you gotta, it's one of these things, man. Relationships. Relationships.
And I've said it before. I'll say it again. Pick the 100 people that you would do that thing free for. Some of them, of course, let's say if you give away 100 services, if 15 buy, make sure that the pricing model matters where you can make the return on the 15. But then if you have them for multiple years, same thing. He reached out to me, hey, you need transportation? Bro, I want to get taxes. Like, no, I got you. First year. Now, second year, he made his money. Oh, it's you, your dad. How many Red Panda you got? 12? Oh, I got you.
Don't worry.
I got that bill. I said, ooh. Double up.
We try to less this time.
The invoice came year 2 for sure.
For sure. We're happy to pay it.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Safety.
All right.
It's paramount.
I got a question. Go ahead.
The last thing I'll say about InvestFest too. Congratulations to the brother that met his fiance during InvestFest weekend. Legendary story. This year at InvestFest, we are doing a singles lounge. There's a lot of single women that come to InvestFest. There's a lot of single men that's really getting to a bag, that got their head on their shoulders, that's intentional. There's a lot of intentional men at InvestFest, and there's a lot of business baddies at InvestFest. So what better way to foster the nuclear black family than to actually have an incubator? And it's going to happen by happenstance anyway.
For sure.
So we wanted to actually have some level of structure behind it. So this year we are having a singles lounge, first time ever. Or if you're an InvestFest ticket holder, all you gotta do is go to the website and sign up. There's no extra charge, there's no extra fee, but it is limited. First 200 people, first come, first serve.
I need a ticket, or like I get VIP access for my keynote.
So are you on the market? Because you've been promoting this.
I saw you in the comment section, and we all saw it.
Are you on the market?
No, I'm not on the market technically, my brother. I'm adding to the value of the brand. I'm licensing my brand with the new event activation to make sure the activation go up.
It's the technicalities.
My brother.
Got you.
Okay.
Open. You call it Fibonacci?
Yo, what's the retracement level here?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to know.
Because
I got you Wednesday though. Got you Wednesday.
Man. All right. Let's get it. Let's talk about this Trump situation. So, first thing I want to talk about is the Trump accounts. So, Trump accounts have launched.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, so the Trump accounts is $1,000. They will be invested into eligible newborns. And if you sign up, you have a child, $1,000 gets invested into an account. It gets invested in the U.S. index fund, grows over the course of, I think until the child takes it out, until you take it out.
If they
let me finish.
I'm just saying they can take it out anytime before 18, but it's penalized, obviously, like IRA.
Yeah. But you could leave it in longer than 18.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you should.
And it's actually retroactive as well. 2025 to 2028 is the qualifying years. It's invested in the U.S. index fund, and you can add money to it as well. $5,000 limit as far as how much money you can add, and access begins at age 18. So this made a lot of news, and we had a conversation in Atlanta about. I would be interested to know how many people is actually taking advantage of this. Because we talked to somebody who was actually a mother. She had vaguely heard of it, but she's like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are not familiar with this or are not totally enthusiastic because it's Trump's name behind it, so they're not even going to follow the process. Or it's just a barrier of you got to actually go online and you got to sign up, and it's like that's a hurdle within itself. So the people that need it the most, that can benefit from this the most, I have a strong suspicion they might be signing up the least.
Yeah. Do you think they have a brand and a messaging problem? I want to ask you guys this. Like, Do you think a lot of our community won't sign up just because he blasted his name on it? Like if it was called a Financial Freedom Fund for Children or something like that, do you think it would have had more traction?
That's kind of how the conversation was kind of came about. It was the idea of, number one, who's going to sign up for it? But I think the missing piece is the education. I think most people don't even understand what it is or what it's for. Had it been named something else, I think there's a certain segment of the population that would have said, okay, we need to do this. Obviously, there's an emotional attachment to a certain demographic of the population when you hear the name. And so the question is, can you separate something that might be good from the person that is actually putting their name on it? That's tough for a lot of people. There's a barrier there. There's also the barrier of trying to figure out, how do I get it? Now, the kids who are born January 1st of 2027 automatically are enrolled. The children that are born between, that works, but the children that are born between, and again, you said everybody can sign up for it. The people that are born between 2025 to 2028 get the $1,000 government funding. The process of signing up for it, and shout out to PJK, he called me, he was like, I'm signing my daughter up for it. But yo, this form is crazy. So the form, like if you're a CPA, this is new.
Barrier of entry.
This is new. So this is new. Yep. So the forms got released today, so you can see how to sign up for it. It's called the 4547 form.
Bro, like
marketing what? Again. He's 45 and he's 47, and this is his form and these are the accounts. But again, how many people are going to actually go to the website, sign up for it, and say, okay, now what do I do? So I think where I landed on it was the education piece is what's needed. Can we educate enough people for them to understand that this is an account that can be beneficial for your child? Yes. There are 60 million people eligible. I think they said 6.1 million people have signed up already. Out of the 6 million that have signed up, only 1.4 million were eligible for that 1,000. So that means that those kids were born between that 2025 Jan 1 to it goes to present day, which is interesting. But there are barriers, right? You have to make a certain amount or under a certain amount to even qualify for it. So I think most of the people out of that 1.5 that have signed up had made under 200,000. Now we know a lot of people in our community make less than that. So it's about getting the information out. Now, is that our job? I think that's where we kind of we're figuring out where our debate was going. Like, is it our job? Is it mandatory that we explain it to people? And I landed on, if education is what we do, then yeah, part of it is to educate the people on what this is and how it could be beneficial.
But also is the barrier to entry and the lack of education intentional. With kudos to Brad Gerstner, because this was his idea and this baby from Altimeter Capital. But then with all the resources that you have, like you said, there's very little education on it. The barrier to entry is difficult. There's also a thought of why only 1,000 or why kids of a certain age were not automatically included. My thing, if you're creating a platform for financial freedom for the kids, which is a brilliant idea, are some of these roadblocks done intentionally and by design?
I think anything with government is going to have a tremendous amount of roadblocks. Even the people that's automatically enrolled. What does that even mean, right? Because you could be automatically enrolled in like John Hope Bryan had spoke about when he was on the show last year, how many people are eligible for the child tax credit that never take advantage of it. And there's billions of dollars in unclaimed money. I have a strong suspicion it's going to be the same thing with this. Yes, you might be automatically enrolled in it, but you still have to sign up. You still got to actually go and fill out. There's going to be a variety of people that do not do that. People don't trust the system already.
For sure.
People don't want to just automatically input their child's social security number, all the information, all of that. You're going to lose half the people just by doing the form. They're going to get, like PJ said, Kev said, he's like, I'm halfway, like, what the hell is this? It's too much. It's a good idea in theory, for sure. Because even $1,000, like I just did the math. If it's $1,000, if 12% compounded, let's just say 20 years. Let's make it an even number. $1,000 in 20 years is $9,650. $10,000 ain't never been. $10,000 has never been bad for anybody in life,
and that's
especially 18.
That's no contribution.
That's no contribution.
Yeah.
So at 20, but at 20 years old, the vast majority. I didn't have $10,000 at 20 years old. The vast majority of people don't have $10,000 at 20 years old. Just waiting for
Xander, you hear that?
It's the like that's reality. I know
Yeah.
adults that don't have $10,000 saved right now
For
in their
sure.
30s and their 40s. So imagine having that at 18, and that, like you said again, that's with no contribution. That's just if the $1,000 just sits. You can contribute to it.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do next. So $50 a month. If you add $50 a month, just $50 a month. If like, okay, the government's gonna give you $1,000, you as a parent, if you add $50 a month to that, at 20, now that's $53,700.
Yeah.
Now that's $50 a month, just as low as $50 a month, makes it $53,000 at age 20. And $100 a month makes it $109,000. So no, it's real. I mean, that's
it's real. Where it's a small investment over a long period of time is life changing. Like I put the post up 3 weeks ago. $250 in per month is $350,000. Like I don't know where everyone is financially. $350,000 at any part in adulthood is a windfall that would change a lot of people's lives.
But look, this is just reading the comments. This is the distrust. Sounds like a setup to me. Another Trump scam. So, and not even judge it whether they right or wrong, but I'm just saying that's the sentiment.
That's the sentiment.
Sentiment is why there's going to be people that's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not.
I'm fully like with you on that. Like I don't disagree that people have a negative connotation when it comes to it. Like I can't say this guy's name in front of my mom. Like she doesn't even want to hear this man's name in her house, right? So let alone that there's going to be an account associated. Now, obviously, I'm not eligible, but kids are eligible, and so this is the other piece to it. And I always said, watch the room. And we were talking about this earlier, but look at who was in the room with them, right? Kirshner was there. Michael Dell was there. Why is Michael Dell there? Well, he's saying, look, we're going to donate $7 billion. Well, where's the $7 billion going if the government is giving $1,000? Well, there's still people who are eligible that will be able to have money from private institutions that will put money in the account. So I think they're allocating $250 to accounts that qualify. Then you have Micron saying that they're going to donate $600 million. And so you're starting to see more institutions. I know Chipotle is adding to it. More institutions are finding a way. I'm sure there's an incentive for them to do it, maybe from a tax standpoint, to be a part of this and help fund the next generation.
But only thing that's going to do is make the wealth gap even wider if people that need it the most don't take advantage of it. Because if you're going to get upper middle class people that's going to now have $20,000 to give their kids, when a poor person, they don't have anything.
I think it's a cap though. So I think there might be like you have to make under $200,000.
$200,000, okay, that's upper middle. That's upper middle class. If you live in Ohio, so if you make $200,000 and you live in most part of America, you know you live in a pretty decent life
for sure.
And now that community is educated enough to take advantage of the situation, and now they're giving their kids they already had a head start, and they're giving even more of a head start. Where the person that's making $37,000 that's just struggling to really survive, either uneducated or fearful or doesn't have the wherewithal to figure it out, doesn't take advantage of it. So now the wealth gap is actually just increasing over the course of time because you're already giving the people that already had a head start even more of a head start.
So then that becomes what role do we play in it? Right? Do we educate? Because I think the education piece is important to give as much information that we know so we can tell people and hopefully they make their own decision. Where other people I know are just going to ignore it and miss the opportunity.
Well, this other part, real quick.
Go ahead,
I mean to cut you off. We've done our part. The great part. Okay, write these four down. SPYM, IVV, ITOT, SPTM. As soon as I saw the layout, I said, damn, it's two tech two index. I've been telling you, VOO, VTI, VGT. Before Trump, fake news, had the fund for Make America Great Again, I already gave you the plan for your kids to get rich. Are you investing into it? Pick the amount. And people say, well, I can't afford it. You can afford 200, 100, because all the other services and AAU and childcare costs way more than that, and they don't give you as great as a return. Pick the four that you're going to marry. But even if you don't want to do this Trump account directly, you can do SPYM, you can do QQQM. Bilal talked about QQQI. pick an asset that you're going to marry and just put money into it every month, and just automate it. And you never have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But what I'll say this too, you have to have enough mental fortitude to follow the process. We can only do so much as far as we obviously have a dedicated audience that listens. So hopefully by us explaining it, if people want to take advantage of it, they might have some more information, or if they want to tell their friends, coworkers, or family members. But let's be honest, the vast majority of the people we still haven't gotten through to yet.
Reached.
And there's a certain level of wherewithal that you on the bottom level of the economic spectrum of society. Let's be honest. Your top priority is not to listen to Market Mondays.
And that
stressed. You're stressed out. You're trying to figure out how to pay rent. You know what I mean? Like you down on your luck, or it's just a variety of different things. Those people are not listening to Market Mondays. So those are the people, and I know people personally that are going to have children. And I know for a fact they're not going to take advantage of it. This is a complex conversation.
Or the information that we get, that's the heartbreaking part. Where it's like, I'm in need. I'm like, bro, I gave you the money to put into your kid's account.
And they won't do it. You know, I will say this about the accounts. It's not an end all be all. It's a part of the investment story.
Yeah.
Should you have a brokerage account? Absolutely. Should you have 529 plans? Should you be doing all those things up my accounts? Yeah, you should be, right? And I'm talking to the audience that is obviously has some financial wherewithal. It's not the end all be all. It is a part of the story, and it's free, right? So should you take advantage of it? Yeah, I would definitely educate myself if the opportunity is there, if I need it, and if it feels like something that could be a part of the investment journey, especially for my kids. I mean,
but that's another thing too. People don't even think about their kids. Like, I'm just
I'm laughing because I'm
gotta
like,
be real. We have to be real.
That's part of it.
They're living for the weekend
themselves.
They're not. That's not a. Bro, you talking about saving money, $1,000, and kids going to get it in 20 years, and
that's the life insurance piece.
They're not even. That's not even on their register. You could give them money. You can give them, hey, we're going to give you $1,000 for your kid. What's the catch? What up,
bro? I gave somebody $6,000 last year.
What do I get out of it? How am I going to benefit from it? If I'm not going to benefit from it, I don't care what. It's the same thing with life insurance. People say like, I got to die for somebody else to get rich.
Right. Same as hell.
My friend text you and told you. That was literally what he said. He like, yo,
that's the real.
That's for my kid. I was behind. I'm like, you weren't behind. You was just at camp fucking 3 weeks ago.
Or you know what happens? The other piece of it is that we don't have discipline. And so we might open the account. In 2 years, it might be $1,500. And we're like, yeah, I need that $1,500. And we take the $1,500 out. And then it gets taxed. And we're like, wait, hold on. You know what I mean? It's just, that's why I said the education piece. It's so many layers and it's so important.
Well, here's some info. Well, hopefully you guys now know about it at the very least. The Market Monday faithful. You guys know about it.
Each one teach one.
So if you want to take advantage of it, can we get the website?
Yeah.
If you want to take advantage of it, take advantage of it. If you don't want to take advantage of it, personal decision, but at least you're educated on it. And now you can, like I said, you can tell your friends. You can add money to it. You can add up to $5,000 a year to it. It's invested in the index funds, compounds over the course of time.
Yeah. TrumpAccounts.gov.
TrumpAccounts.gov is the name of the website.
We are not a paid affiliate. We're just informing.
We're not. And there's information there as well. And the app is there as well. And Robinhood is the brokerage. So we saw Vlad on TV today talking about it.
Shout out to Vlad.
So congrats to Vlad on being the brokerage, I guess, quote unquote, of the future.
The double since that bottom. Told you, the stock of the year. It's going to be.
It was in the list. It was in the list. I tell you.
Rashad, you seem sad a little bit, though, even though you just left the tropical island. Like, what's the solution to this problem and getting the information to reach more people when it's needed more than ever?
You can only do what you can do. You go crazy trying to change the whole entire world. Like, you can only do what you can do. It's like the Marines, a few good men or a few good women. you can't change, you can't save everybody. So you can't focus on that. Help who wants to help themselves, and then eventually, people, when they want help, they'll receive it. But when you have a song that encourages people to scam and to steal clothes out of clothing stores, and that's the number one song in the world, it says a lot about the times that we're in. But it also says a lot about the appetite that people have, because no matter how much they can talk about social programming, and that's a real conversation that we can have if you're interested in it as well. Yeah, there is some level of social programming, but the social programming only goes to people that's interested in being socially programmed. So at some point in time, at a certain point in time, you gotta have some level of responsibility, because it's like, nobody's forcing you to listen to the music, nobody's forcing you to drink liquor, nobody's forcing you to do all these things. It's there for you, but
if there's a disproportionate amount of media being pushed to us, though, like even when it happened at the BET Awards, my first thought was they cleared that to make that a moment.
You know what I found interesting in this whole, and not to get too political, but this whole Gaza thing is like, these people got thrown everything possible, they got thrown at them, and they in the rubble, and they praying, and they getting married with nothing, no electricity, no running water, nothing. They ain't lose their faith no matter what. They held on to their principles and their faith. So
regardless of circumstance, we know we got it hard, but we have a part to play in our downfall as well, because we want it. No matter how much we say about the ignorant shit, we as a society, we want ignorant more than we want positive things. For sure.
And until that changes, the vast majority of people are still going to be in the same mental struggle that they're in.
The ignorant shit, it becomes entertaining. It becomes, that is our form of entertainment. Yeah, sports, and that is entertaining. And so people love it. They want to see tragedy. They want to see downfall. It's the reason why that programming continues to feed that and continues to put that in front of you, because they know you're going to watch it. They know you're going to react to it. They know you're going to get emotional about it. And they know you're going to come back for more. You're coming back for more.
Well, spend it.
On stocks, for those who,
even if you don't got nothing to spend,
find it to spend.
Find it to spend it. Think about
just
that.
like when 9/11 happened, they told you to go spend the money.
The average person doesn't have $500 saved, and the number one song is "Spend It." Spend what? What exactly are you spending? You don't even have money to spend.
For those who don't know, it takes 200 to 400 grand to make a song go number one. That's why I say it's a disproportionate. And shout out to whoever wrote the song and the producer. It's not the greatest song of all time. So for it to go number one in this climate,
it's number one.
It's number one in the street. It's number one in the street. It's number one in the streets. I'll tell you that.
The buzz and reach.
It's platinum.
I mean, I see it.
In the streets.
The more attention you give to it, obviously, the more players it's gonna get. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I haven't panned into that, because I understand how it works. Right? The more you talk about it, the more plays it gets, the more growth it has. Then it potentially is the number one song in the country. So,
all right. Well,
real quick, for those who asked, once again, write it in the chat. SPYM 1, number 2 IVV, number 3 SPTM, and number 4 ITOT are 4 that you can invest in if you want to emulate the Trump account return for your kid without investing into the Trump account.
Yeah, and you cannot change the investment. It's not something that you can actively manage. The investment is done through the United States government. They're going to put it in index funds, and you can't do anything about that. Once the money goes in, they now manage.
Yeah, which is great, because it forces you to not rotate too much, not trade with your child's future, but more importantly, just find a way to automate this for your children on their own. It makes it so much easier.
Let's talk about staying with the Trump situation. Let's talk about this crypto scam alleged situation that's happened. So and this has been all over Forbes. Everybody has been talking about this. It's nothing new, but it's just really starting to come out now. So the Trump meme coin, he's been involved in a couple of different meme coins. And his wife's name, Melania coin. But let's talk about his coin specifically. Just the Trump meme coin, legendary. legendary situation. So the Trump meme coin is said that he profited. So Donald Trump made $1.1 billion
1.4
in crypto last year.
1.4, yeah.
635 million came from the Trump coin. 600, he made Donald Trump, because they got to have their filings. Donald Trump last year made $635 million from the Trump coin.
Mm-hmm.
The Trump coin fell 95% in value. It's pretty much worthless at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what makes this interesting. Donald Trump made $635 million from the coin. 58 wallets. So 800,000 people lost money on Trump coin. 800,000 people lost money. 58 wallets, 58 people, 58 wallets made at least 10 million each, totaling 1.1 billion. So 58 people from Trump coin
It's
made
platinum level.
58 people made 1.1 billion. He himself made 635 million, while the coin fell 95% and 800,000 people lost money.
Yeah.
And this out of his own tweets, where he's actually tweeted about this when it was actually first coming out, when he tweeted in Truthful Social. The new official Trump meme coin is here. It's time to celebrate everything we stand for, winning. Join my very special Trump community. Get your Trump coin now. So this is the most crazy. This is actually probably the craziest thing that's ever happened in American politics. You have a sitting president that rug pulled his audience. He literally pumped up a meme coin that had his name on it. You're talking about the endorsement. Who's not going to believe that something that the United States president is getting behind from a financial situation is not going to be beneficial for them economically?
Anybody who's smart.
He's pretty much saying this is the future of finance. I'm endorsing it. Let's get on board with this. This is the most powerful person in the world. 800,000 people lose money, and you make $635 million, and 58 people make 1.1 billion.
Did he say you was gonna get a return?
That's what we call a rug pull.
But did he say you was gonna get a return? He just said join our community.
You saying he's an influencer?
Yeah, he saw Elon do the same shit with Doge on Saturday Night Live and said, "I'm bigger than Elon. Shit, I'm the fucking president. Of course I can move this."
At least
we told
Elon,
you.
it wasn't Elon coin. At least it wasn't his name on it.
But did it twice, right? Because
sure.
after the Trump coin comes the Melania coin. But the other part of the puzzle is like, yes, that's 635 million, but that still leaves a gap to how did he get to $1 billion. So the other part was that he created the World Financial Liberty Financial, which is a crypto venture that he made with his sons, and he netted nearly 800 million. He actually made more off that than the meme coin.
Yeah, yep.
Right. So you create a crypto.
The first was a test.
A venture fund with your son.
And then you bailed old boy out to help you.
Here's the crazy part. His son becomes a billionaire from the venture. Right? This is how his son becomes a billionaire. He makes 800 million, takes 600 from the meme coin, and now he's got 1.4. He cleared 1.4 last year in crypto.
Wow.
His comments.
The market is down. Yeah.
While the crypto market is down, his comments were his businesses are managed separately, his actions comply with the law, and that his administration's crypto policies are intended to strengthen the U.S. leadership in digital assets rather than just benefit him personally. Wow.
Totally.
Wow. 1.4.
I'm gonna be real. We talked about it before. Everyone who said Project 2025 wasn't, we told you the whole rollout. Rashad did a whole diatribe and went to fucking scorched earth on that blackout. Try to tell you. We tried to, it's no good. Melania coin, no good. Told you the price that it will fall to. People, and I'm going to be very honest, same as happened in tech and in AI. No one cares because and I asked the question on Blackout, does the culture love a good scam? The truth is, most want to be in on the scam. They knew Trump coin was no good. Just like they knew Doge was no good, or if I brought up MicroStrategy, not I'm saying it's a scam, but it has fallen 80. Now, we'll talk about that later, how many coins he sold to fund the dividend products. Most people don't care if something is a scam if they can benefit from it.
So most people didn't benefit from it. Most people lost. Most
They're losing a bunch.
800,000 people lost money on this.
But they joined in on the premise that it would go up solely. They don't care about no fundamentals. They like everyone who was pro Bitcoin who got in on the Trump coin, they didn't look at no white paper. They just, the shit gonna go up, so I'm gonna get in on it.
Well, that's two different things then, because they're going into it with the anticipation that they're going to make money. The president, the president, like I said, this is actually, I'm not overstating this. This has actually never been done before in American history. There's actually no precedent for this. There's never been a time in American history where something like this has happened. So there's no precedent to set. He's the president of the United States. He put his name on a financial instrument, then went online, endorsed said instrument, pushed the price up by having a cohort of billionaire friends invest money into it, raised the price, and they all took their money out at the top. That's the definition of a rug pull. He rug pulled America.
Yeah. And the crazy part is, with everyone, he's learning more how to protect himself so the blowback doesn't solely come back on him. And he's figured out how to do it in equities. Rashad, if I met you in 2009 and I said, hey, I got an insider tip about a company and the president is going to endorse it, would you send it out to your clients? No, you wouldn't even want the blowback from it. He said today, Dale, even the Intel.
Yeah.
Truth be told, most people don't love Intel as a long-term position. They bought it because he endorsed it.
Does it feel criminal? Can he be investigated? Can he be investigated for it?
How are you gonna be investigated when you own the investigators?
And then,
of course not.
Said president has now put stipulations where they said, "Look, we're not going to investigate you." So now what?
And the other hedge in business that I was saying before, like if y'all bring back House of Cards and Netflix, it should just be on this administration. You got enough real data to make a 3-year series. Now he's involved so many other people in terms of equities, and he's making sure the capital flows. No one wants to even turn on them because you're benefiting from him mentioning your companies and putting these arranged marriages together. So it went from a crypto scam to now you're essentially doing the same thing in equities, but at least those companies have real fundamentals and you're boosting them up. So the scam is allegedly evolving into the equities markets. I've never heard a president outright mention that a company is good and you should buy it. Like if Barack would have did that with Apple in 2008, not that, bro. Richard Nixon got impeached for Watergate, which was like, if you compare that to this,
I mean, we also never had a president that actively traded stocks
at this level.
Any level.
They have traded stocks.
We never had a president.
Nobody's
like
traded
this.
like this.
How is that team firing off 85 trades a day?
I think they were at 3,000 trades. I think this year, or maybe it was last year, where the average has been like 200. Crazy number.
Let's go back. All right. Here's how many stock trades each president made during their term. We're going back to Lincoln. History. Mm-hmm. President Lincoln, during his 8 years of being president, how many stock trades do you think he made, guys?
I would say none.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
George W. Bush, during his 8 years of president, how many stock trades?
Maybe 3?
Zero.
Okay.
Barack Obama, during his 8 years of president, how many stock trades did he make? Zero. President Trump, during his first 4 years, how many stock trades did he make?
Probably 80.
50.
Okay.
Biden, during his 4 years of presidency, how many stock trades did Biden make?
I would assume less than 10.
Zero.
Okay.
In the first 2 years of this presidency, how many stock trades did Trump have?
That's like three. That's in the 3,000s.
3,642.
Yeah, I saw that post.
3,642
trades.
Bro, that's not talking about the whole, bro. That's hard.
That's what I'm saying. This is unprecedented. Presidents do not trade stocks.
Yeah.
Presidents have never traded stocks before, ever. Never.
Is it illegal?
Yeah.
But I'm just this is
It's okay. Even with
there's
that,
a
the
reason
George
why you don't trade stocks
Don't do
because you have an inside.
you have vested
But
interest.
so does the
Yeah.
Congress.
Of course, but there's nobody that's bigger than the president. It's a difference.
So that
And it
brings up
sets
the
a
question.
bad precedent going forward.
Should Congress be able to trade, right? Like, should the president be able to trade? Well, the thing, and we had this conversation prior to the show. Nobody's ever done it. How many people knew they could do it and just didn't?
Bro, listen, every time I talk to my guy Todd,
Yo,
every time I
I'm
talk
like,
to Todd,
what?
Todd be like, I wish Barack would have did some of the shit that Trump was doing. I've never seen it. Now, for those who are long-term experts, George H.W. had exposure to Halliburton, but that was long-term, right? Had exposure to Exxon, but these were not trade.
Right.
For those who
That's what
don't know,
I'm saying.
like, it's hard for a hedge fund to fire off 80, even with agentic and algorithmic trading,
Yeah, how are you
85 trades
doing-
in a day is a lot, bro.
How are you doing 3,000 in 2 years? I'm
In
not even
front-
sure I've done
oh, okay,
3,000 in life.
Okay, even let's talk about Rashad, 2008. You can't front run a trade. You can't know that Intel, or let's say XYZ company, let's pick Exxon, is going to go up this much, and then you get in front of the trade. That one act alone is illegal, let alone doing it 3,000 times. But
That's
nobody cares. That's a lot, bro.
That's beyond a lot. Like, even for if you're telling somebody to invest or you're teaching somebody, they ask you, right, when you're signing up for the brokerage, how many trades are you making in a year? And that's not even a category. It doesn't even go past 100.
If you put that in Schwab, boy, they finna what?
Denied.
Blacklisted.
But he's
Bro,
investing in Charles Schwab.
Ninja Trader is not letting you get off 3,000 trades in a year. 3,000 individual trades?
Charles Schwab was in the Oval Office this year.
For sure.
I know a guy.
The
actual guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People didn't even know he was still alive.
Yeah.
Let's talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA's stock has been struggling.
Consolidating.
But
language is important.
NVIDIA's AI. NVIDIA's AI.
Listen, man.
Startup. Are we going to call this a gamble?
I'm not going to use that word.
Talk about NVIDIA for the NVIDIA investors out there.
You know, you going with the word gamble.
No, but
Okay.
Rashad, I'm with you. We're on the same page. We're both on the bad guy thing, right? When OpenAI, and I told everyone this a few years ago, PS and chat, if you remember me saying to be careful what you upload, because the large language models are going to take your IP and make businesses out of them. Now NVIDIA has found a way to leverage something that OpenAI wants to do, and now they're going to partner with startups for revenue share to keep you inside of an ecosystem. I think, so OpenAI announced its own jalapeno chip. Anthropic is working on its own chips. As a pushback to that, NVIDIA is now saying we want you to use our hardware, our chips, and now we're going to give a LLM away for free and to offset the issue. And we'll talk about Alex Karp later, to help costs be okay for you, opposed to you charging you a lot for tokens or hardware. We'll do a rev share deal. I think it's really
Go ahead.
I think it's a fascinating approach, because what's not talked about enough, like we talk about the Democratic and Republican and MAGA war, we don't talk enough about the business wars that are going on in tech. And these wars are heating up really fast. So do I like the idea? Yes, for them, because I think they are also seeing other companies get hotter, and one way to offset and move the stock price up is to partner with some of these companies for the future. So you're not getting an upfront spend, but you're getting it on the back end. I think that's brilliant, but also it can be nefarious if not done in the right way. I like NVIDIA a lot, not just because I've been a long-term investor in it, but we've been there. We know the people. So the ecosystem and the character of the people who work there is full of integrity. So I'm not worried about that. But that AMD, Anthropic, OpenAI battle is heating up. And I think it's reminiscent of what Apple went through with Intel back in the day, when Apple wanted to make their own chips and not be so dependent on one source. So, but But I would say for us, if you're a startup, you have to be very careful of who you're licensing out to and what deals you're signing.
All right, we'll talk about the negative side, but let's. I liked it. I actually love the idea because if you think about AI startups, and we've spoken to a lot of people in the world of AI, has conversations with people who have startups. The issue isn't the idea, the issue is the compute. And so if I can provide you with compute, then that means that you have capital to now find other things to help that business grow. From NVIDIA's standpoint, we already said this is not a GPU company. This is a platform company. And they made that very clear when we were there, that this is a platform company. Now, most of these AI startups, you're right, they're already using the CUDA software, right? Can't change that, right? Most of them are being built on top of that. We get the compute now. What does that do for NVIDIA? Now, and we've seen the investments that they've made. In fact, I covered it in the last class about where they're putting their money. They're putting in their money in the future of the entire AI ecosystem inside of that 5-layer cake. And so, number one, you're going to have access to potentially the next revelation, the next innovation, probably will come from your warehouse. Why? Because you've already given software and now you're giving compute. That's a positive. That keeps you in this space long term. That means that, hey, you're going to now be reliant on what I do from a software standpoint and now from a hardware standpoint. Now, the cost of that is revenue share. Now, they could give compute and those companies could never do anything.
True.
And now they've given away valuable equipment that other companies could have used. The other side is that they can give compute and those companies could actually grow and scale. And now they have a revenue share. And so the revenue share, like we always talk about, like I'd rather have 20% of something than 100% of nothing. So if I give the compute, I give rev share, and it works out, that's great for the company. What you have to be careful for if you are said company, AI startup, is that, yes, if you're Series A to seed funding phase of investing, this works. If you're down the road,
you're in
now you're trying to raise again, and they want to see the books, and they're trying to see revenue, and they see that this company has 20, 30, 40, 50% of your revenue, that's going to be tough to raise capital. So then you're going to have to try to renegotiate with the biggest powerhouse in AI, which I probably, in my estimation, won't work out in your favor because they could
they're going to turn your power off.
Lights out. Then what? So from a dominant standpoint, I think NVIDIA stays dominant in this role. If I'm an AI startup, yes, be mindful, read the fine print. But I think it's mutually beneficial, right? Because you wouldn't have the compute at that level. Now, it doesn't even say which compute. It doesn't say, hey, you're going to have Vera Rubin, right? Yeah. It doesn't even say you're going to have Blackwell. We don't know which compute it is, but it probably won't be the next generation of compute. It'll kind of, in my estimation, it'll be in the same vein of a CoreWeave or Nibius where, hey, we're going to give you Hopper, right? And then when Blackwell, we'll the last model will give you that. But it's still, I mean, it's going to move faster than anything that's moving right now. So I think this becomes a mutually beneficial thing, but the fine print is going to be important.
Rashad, your wheels are turning. Come on, give us the truth. I already know.
I think it's important for people to know because even when we went to NVIDIA and, we took 50 people to NVIDIA twice. And one of the things that they really broke down the first time we went is that what a lot of people might not be familiar with is that NVIDIA actually is a venture capital company as well. They have a whole venture capital arm where they've invested in over 5,000 companies. So I don't think that people really look at NVIDIA from its totality. They've invested in 5,000 companies already. So they're going to invest in 5,000 more, you would think. And some of those companies would potentially be the next OpenAI, change the world, who knows. But that's important for people to understand. When they're looking at investing in a company, you're investing in a company, but sometimes the company that you're investing is in investing in companies as well. And we saw that even with Microsoft, OpenAI, the biggest one.
Google.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And even Meta, Instagram, generational.
Amazing.
That was a generational buy. They bought
One
Instagram
of the
for $1
greatest
billion.
acquisitions of all time. Yep.
So business is always evolving. If you're not evolving, then you're declining. We didn't get a chance to talk about this last week because we just announced it. But yeah, we have a new media arm called EYO Africa. Actually, follow the page if you're interested in content that's related to the African continent. EYO Africa, because you
Great
have
counter,
to
by the
seek.
way.
Yeah, you have to seek new opportunities. So I think it's good as long as they don't lose focus. But like I said, for them, I'm not too worried because they already have a whole division that's geared towards venture capital anyway.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, at a certain point in time, if you don't acquire a company or if you don't have new company coming, no matter how good you are, you're going to get passed by somebody new. So it's better to be, it's better to do this route than to be Blockbuster and not take Netflix because you think that which your model is going to be successful forever.
Sure. I mean, it's spot on. I feel like we agree in that sense where, number one, have the vision. Number two, make sure that you're participating in innovation of the future. So
For sure.
if I give you GPUs, are you not interested in another company that's giving you GPUs? No, these are working for you. So when you're done, right, because the GPUs have a lifespan, then you're going to be coming back to me for more, and I'm going to supply you with more, right? Because it's advantageous for if you win, I win, right? If we're doing a rev share, the more money you make, the more money I make. Mutually beneficial.
And keep your eye where they deploy the compute first and if they do it in healthcare. Secondly, we talk a lot about selling the picks and shovels. They're one of the first companies that have selling the picks, shovels, own the mine, and then they sell you the refined gold at the end. Like, pick your poison. Like I said this after we left. Like you said, they're investing in the seed rounds, Series A rounds. They're doing a lot in healthcare, still have an amazing moat on market share. And I don't think that their best days are behind them. I think they are incredibly underpriced. And like you said, the power law thing, if they get 20 companies that are amazing out of those 5,000, that alone will bolster the market cap regardless of innovation. But they're innovating. Like, they're working at that building. So everyone's in the hedge fund business. Like, even when we talk about the Alex Karp crash out, that's the entire conversation I've been having. If I'm deploying 15 billion or 20 billion at a time, where's the return? And now there's a tokenomics issue. If you're doing all this spend in tokens, but now you're paying more tokens than you were paying an employee. You have to know where you're going to get the return from.
Thanks. Tolbert, yes, we are live. We are live.
Yes,
Tolbert.
we're live, Tolbert. How are you?
Hit the like button and share. Oh yeah, real quickly. Speaking of relationships, Jay-Z got that concert. He got a concert that's coming up this weekend. If anybody has a suite, I do not have a ticket.
You gotta tell them which night.
If any night.
Yeah, which night? Okay.
Any night.
You don't care.
I'm open. If you have a suite.
Suite only. You can't do gym pop?
And gym pop is tough. Okay. If you have some level of accommodation, we can talk about it.
This is
life is about relationships.
It's the Barter show, right?
It's about relationships.
I got some.
Yeah. It's about relationships and what better way. I'm open. What better way to build an in-person relationship? So if you have an extra accommodation,
I know you're busy. Text me or call my boy, please.
Feel free to DM me. All my industry friends, Steve Carlos, all these guys, man. Hey, look, I know it's a hard ticket to get.
They all gonna be there.
Feel free. If we've made you some money, Troy's already going.
I'm there.
He's already going.
I'm there every night, y'all. Y'all, if you see me, yes, I'm there. You're gonna see me all over the place, but I will definitely be there, and I might be reporting live from there. So
you know, sure tap in. They say Kai came back streaming, so you need to go stream from the whole concert.
And why? The next question is, well, why don't you just buy a ticket?
Well,
I'm testing our
The Barter
relationship.
ecosystem.
I'm testing our relationship capital. I feel that we've built up enough goodwill in the community and in New York City over the last 8 years.
Charlemagne.
I'm testing.
See what you did there.
Shout out to my boy.
See what you did there.
I'm testing my relationship capital here. DM me at my Instagram, Rashad Bilal.
Yeah, we there. We there. There's a couple other skills I might need some help on, but this ain't one of them.
Yeah.
If anybody knows Olivia Dean,
what's my man name? Larry Jackson. Yo, my guy.
Larry,
what's up?
I need help.
Yeah,
I do need help with that. I do need help with some Olivia Dean joints. I got a few, but I need
Olivia
a couple
Dean.
more.
Tough.
Yeah. Help us. We love you.
Shout out to Guru though, because he a hard accountability partner. You say something good like, yo, King, I don't really rock with the thing. My bad, bro. Even if I was right, my bad, bro.
Shout out to the whole team. Beehive, what's good?
Yeah,
it's good.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's do a hypothetical question. If you woke up with a lump sum of $50,000 with no assets, no investment, no car, no savings, $10,000 in debt, and 500 credit score, how would you use that $50,000 to change your life?
This is a great question. I appreciate it. I would allocate equally weighted to tech to index. Listen, I'm gonna be real. Whether you have 50,000 or 50 million, if you want an easy return, you get concentration into tech to index, and you get diversification. A lot of times we want a complicated answer because we want life to be more complicated than it needs to be. And we talked about it last week, like all the athletes who are investing, and shout out to all of you guys who reached out. But a lot of times you're looking for an exotic instrument or investment to invest in when you just need a solid return. So I would break the money up into 4 parts. I would put it into VO, VTI. I would pick 2 tech companies. I would probably lean at this time towards Google and NVIDIA for the 2. And I will hold it for a 5-year period. Pay your bills on time if you can. But the what would you do if you would start over question? I was asked this a lot at the podcast summit. The other part of advice that most people don't want to give you is when you get on the mountain of financial freedom, your job is to not slide down the mountain and lose the money. So I know you.
Are you touching that debt? That 10K in debt?
I mean, honestly, no. I will wait 3 or 4 years. I will wait. But because if you look at the return basis, that 10K in capital in 5 years may be 120, or let's be conservative and say 60.
Okay.
The return on, you're not going to get that money back or the time. And the most important thing, and why I say listen the first time, you can get the opportunity to buy another stock on a dip or a crash. You can't get the time back though. That's why we always look back and be like, man, I wish we knew this in 2006 or 2005 when Apple was da-da-da-da-da. You can't get the time back though. So I will wait to pay off the debt. I will deploy the money into the market and hold for a long period of time. Hold for 5 or 10 years. You'll be okay. What about you guys?
I'm with you. I'm holding off on the debt, which is why I asked, because I figured you would say that. Yeah, I think your game plan is almost not bulletproof, but it's a pretty strong case. I think I would do something that's very similar. ETFs for sure.
Yeah.
Strong ETFs, semiconductor technology, and then I would probably look at consumer discretionary just because of how it's performed over the past 10 years, not so much how it's performed over the past 2. Yeah. And then I would have one like very specific, like a drum would be a perfect example of a semiconductor aisle. I call it like, you have the aisle when we think of semiconductors in the supermarket, but there's like that back shelf that has specialized things. And so the memory piece would be one of an example that I would have an ETF to create that label, that table that I like to talk about, like have a strong table and build on top of it. So I would do that. I'd definitely be in the market.
Shadi, what about you?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely same thing. You got to invest your money into the stock market at all times. SMH has done very well for me. TSM has done well. I think Microsoft is at a buy point if you believe in it. It's the lowest as far as out of the major Mag 7 companies, I think it's at the lowest point from its all-time high as far as the buy potential for that one particular. QQQ is always going to be something that you can invest in. Strongly believe in QQQ because it's just, how can QQQ fail? If you really think about it, QQQ is probably the strongest.
Indestructible.
It's probably the strongest thing on that you can invest in.
And probably a perfect concentration of a ETF. Not to cut you off, but I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, because there's really no flaws in it as far as if you believe that technology is going to lead the future, which I think everybody at this point in time believes that technology is going to lead the future. Well, QQQ is made up of the top technology companies, and it rebalances itself over the course of time. Like I said, the number 3 holder in QQQ is Micron. Now, 5 years ago, Micron wasn't even thought of. But so no matter what happens, as long as you have QQQ,
you're good.
You're going, like, okay, me personally, I have an IRA. My IRA is in QQQ because I just believe that the long term, when I'm talking about 30 years down the line, technology companies are going to give the best rate of return. And instead of maybe picking 1 or 2 technology companies, I'll just have the leader in the technology space. And I don't have to worry about rebalancing it because it's going to be rebalanced anyway.
And for the person who was asking, and of course the rate of debt. So if you got $10K worth of debt and you had a 35% interest rate, pay it off. But I've been debt free since 2018. You always go back and do revisionist history and calculation. I paid the debt. Being debt free is a flex, yada yada. The remaining $28,000 payment that I paid to be out of debt, that payment cost me $364,000. So everybody like, I'll pay off the debt first. Trust me, you're going to miss out on substantial upside in a tech tailwind that you're not going to be able to get that time back. Was it a great feeling to be debt free? Absolutely. If I can do it again though, would I have let the returns run up and then pay it off? So it's not an either or, it's a better allocation of money going into tech companies first, taking some out, letting the rest roll over, and then being okay. So I get it. I've because I'm anti-debt, but I'm telling you, you're going to miss out on some substantial amounts of money knocking down the debt first. And for those who are anti-Dave Ramsey, that's the one thing that I disagree with, is knocking down the debts first and not deploying the capital into the market. But but at this point, like you can't say the word. Do what you want to do.
Like
QQQ, do whatever you want to do.
QQQ is in 5 years, in 10 years, the last 10 years is up 555%. Like I said, and that's just easy. Like you don't even have to be an intelligent person. Honestly, you don't even have to be an intelligent person. You can literally not even read Wall Street Journal. You don't got to watch Market Mondays. You don't got to do anything. Like if you're investing in Micron, if you're investing in the stocks that Troy is talking about, and the options, you got to kind of do research. You got to kind of be in it. You got to be in it to win it. But you could be a passive aggressor. You could be a passive investor, and you would have made 500% in 10 years.
Listen, Crystal put in 10 grand in 2020, 2026 of 300,000 market to ever invest in. I want everyone watching tonight to answer. What are you so damn afraid of? This isn't 2002 when it was like a vortex of information was hidden from us. This is the easiest concentration. Like the Russell, because of Bloom, is up 22%. Like we're talking about numbers. If we hit these, or if I proposed in 2010, I can get you 22%. You would have thought I was Bernie Madoff. Hold for the long term. If you want to get rich from the market, go to eninvest.com and join Red Panda, please. QQQ versus QQQM, both financial threesome. Quit asking that question. Both QQQI, QQQE. Do what y'all trying to do when y'all go to the party. Put them all in the room and have a blast. Financial threesome. Buy all of them. Hold them for 10 years. Like you can't do in your relationship life. If your relationship life gonna be cold, let the accounts be warm, my boy. Back to you, Trevor. Y'all be trying to add a freak off to the Vest Fest. Make them accounts freak off.
Allegedly.
Yo, you go to Josephine's after? Go see John Hope Bryan speak in the morning, boy.
Please.
Yo, well, can I go to Josephine's with you? You need to go get some QQQ.
Please.
Go listen to BlackRock speak in the morning early. You hear me, Allegedly.
Thank you. Michael Saylor, latest round of Bitcoin sale. So this has been happening pretty regularly now. But selling Bitcoin to pay company dividends,
amongst other things.
So what does it say? What does it say?
I wanted to ask you, my brother, because you're on the international excursion. I was wondering because it's an international asset. In your leisure time on the beach,
Everything earned.
Everything has been earned, right? Is this a cause of concern for you allegedly about them selling 3,000 or 4,000 coins?
Michael Saylor, I think that the strategy of becoming a Bitcoin treasury company, because MicroStrategy was a software company
that sells no software right now. Well, the dividends are the software, but
yeah, they're a software company that became a Bitcoin treasury company. Mm-hmm. So, okay, if your business model is to become a Bitcoin treasury company, that's your business model. Mm-hmm. I think you have to have more to it than that. Because what happens when Bitcoin goes down? How do you raise capital? How do you pay expenses? How do you pay dividends? How do you keep shareholders? Like, are you going to use Bitcoin as leverage to buy real estate in the real world? Like, I think that the business model has to expand and evolve other than buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can and then hold it for as long as we possibly can. I don't think that that's a sustainable business model. There's no revenue that's coming in. It's not protection from falls like this was happening, what's been happening. Doesn't protect you in a bear market. It doesn't lead to growth outside of just you're at the whim of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin. I'm not worried about Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, I think that it's not over because they still have a lot of Bitcoin, but they have to really rethink their business model, and it has to become bigger than let's just borrow as much money as we possibly can to buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can.
And I've said it before. It's eerily reminiscent of what Kathy went to. Kudos to everyone at ARK who love you dearly. Also, too, when Brad Gerstner is there and they ask him about Bitcoin, I noticed Michael has been noticeably missing from those Trump meetings. Nicki Minaj is popping up with Trump. And Michael Saylor.
She said Nicki Minaj, she's hot.
Yeah. About a year ago, these are my same sentiments about Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. I just didn't. The business model wasn't making enough sense for me. So I'm not invested in it just for transparency. But when somebody changes their thesis and doesn't change the business model, that is concerning to me, right? The thesis used to be, hey, we're going to buy it. It doesn't matter. The price is going to go up.
That's the number one red flag, though. Buy at any price.
We're never selling.
Now that's the right thesis. And really quick, shout out to Financial Conspirator. I'm not beating up on you, guy, but to offer 5 other products, and just from a business case study, it's often better to put the new features into the main product opposed to making a bunch of derivative products. It's much better to do that. OpenAI had this issue early. Too many models. And it's confusing to the average person. But once again, people only believed in the vision because of the gain. Josh Brown came on here and told you when I asked him about it, and it was clear as day. Like this, and this is why you have to study the financial products and the history of them, going back to that reading 50 pages a day. The case study for this model does not work very well long term. And I also said they're going to attack him, and he's under attack.
And the question becomes, how sustainable is it? Yes, when Bitcoin is moving and you're seeing that appreciation, great, right? But buying does matter, and gratefully for him, right? It's been consolidating in the 60,000s. Had this thing got down to 50, 40,000,
40s,
this would be a very drastic conversation. It has been consolidating. Is it an asset that will appreciate? Of course, we see it. We still believe in it. But the business models that they have, I'm just trying to figure out, well, where's the revenue? Oh, we'll just buy. It'll appreciate. Well, what happens when it doesn't? Right now, I gotta. How do we pay dividends? Well, we gotta sell some, and then we gotta buy back shares. Okay, you're doing all the things, but how sustainable is that in the long term? And I'm not even saying long term, 5 to 10 years. Can you continue that for the next 2 years if this consolidates? Now, the patterns have shown that Bitcoin doesn't do that. But what if it? I mean, who knows, right? Let's say over the next 12 to 18 months, if consolidation between 60 and 70,000 continues, or 75,000.
Yeah, a year ago was at.
We're gonna see a lot more sell-offs.
Yeah, a year ago was at 457.23. Currently at 177. For my technicians, it went from the 78.6 retracement and it's underneath the 23.6 of the 5 year. Not a good sign. You better go call Trump and figure out your relationship. And I'm gonna say, whenever you say buy at any price for any asset on earth, I don't care if it's a water. That's a horrible thesis. It always leads to trouble.
Big trouble.
Let's talk about SK Hynix IPO this Friday, I believe. Big IPO. Something that's a lot of people have different theories on this. Some people think it's going to really hurt Micron. Some people think that it's a sign that this memory sector is coming to a halt, because it's like when you start to see a lot of IPOs, it's like, let's get in while there's still room. Like, let's get as much as we possibly can before the gig is up. Some people say that this is just the beginning of the memory sector, and this is something that's encouraging. I don't know, Korean company. This is probably gonna be another $1 billion, $1 trillion. Well,
it's already there.
It's on IPO. Like, as soon, like, first day out. Like, so this is like a SpaceX situation all over again. It's not as popular as SpaceX. Yeah. But this is gonna be like this is like a new SpaceX situation.
I want to compare it to SpaceX in terms of, well, SpaceX is a new company that's IPOing and it had a $1.8 trillion valuation. This is already a $1.1 trillion company that is IPOing to raise capital. Obviously, it's trading in South Korea.
Yeah.
So the idea of raising capital, I get it from that standpoint. Well, why raise capital now? Well, they understand, and this is just my bull case on it. They understand that the moment, right? Like we saw that the demand for GPUs was a bottleneck. We've got that under control. Well, now the bottleneck is memory, and they lead the world. Like, I know we want to talk about Micron, and we love Micron, but the world leader in high bandwidth memory is SK Hynix. And so the US stock market is a place where you can raise capital and give exposure. Most people, if you've been watching this show, if you're in EYL University or if you're in Red Panda, you've already had exposure to SK Hynix, right? So if you bought DRAM, the ETF, that has a 24% allocation. So you've already been there. The idea that now you can individually have access to it is a game changer. And so their goal, and they expect to raise additional $29 billion. Well, why would they want to raise $29 billion? Because of the demand, right? They have to build new fabs. They have to expand the high bandwidth. What's interesting is that they're actually talking about advanced packaging. So that's something that's pretty interesting to me, because when I think advanced packaging, I think Taiwan Semiconductor. So that talks about more demand in that space, but they're also directly going to start buying machinery, the EUV machines from ASML, which is, and we talked about that. That's a $400 million expense for one machine. So think about that. How many companies are even in the realm of buying one? So they're going to have multiple machines. They're expanding. They already talked about what they're doing in South Korea. July 10th, they're supposed to IPO here. How will it affect the memory sector? I think it's a clear indication that demand is still here. The memory sector is still going to be an issue, or definitely a high concern over the next 2 to 3 years from what we saw from Micron's report. I see Samsung just reported. I'll be interested to see how they did today.
For sure.
Obviously, they're doing on a Kospi index, so they're in South Korea. And then this IPO Friday, it'll be a clear indication of, hey, either we're resetting the levels because the valuations are too high, or we're going to match these levels and say, here we go on another run. So the idea of Samsung today or tonight or this morning, if you're watching, and July 10th, which is Friday, SK Hynix IPOs, ASML will be reporting on Tuesday, TSM on Wednesday. The demand story will come to the forefront in the next 5 to 7 days. And so that's what we should be watching for.
And yeah, for the people, people put in chat, it actually is not an IPO, it's an ADR. So it's already a publicly traded company, but it's getting debuted to the American market on the American
IPO here.
on the American exchange. So it's not an initial public offering, but similar as far as people in America now have access to invest in it. But Ian, what's your thoughts on this, and what's your thoughts on the memory sector? Like, how does this impact the memory sector?
I think there's a lot of, and I went through this with NVIDIA. Try, I'm sure you're going to agree. A lot of people who missed out on the memory run up are doing the Michael Burry, and they're requesting a crash. So because you missed out, you want these companies to fail. And we were talking about it earlier. Let's say Micron falls 50%, which you want. Most people aren't going to buy at a 50% dip. I think will Micron lose some share? I think it adjusts. It'll be like NVIDIA and AMD. I think both are incredibly valuable. The other argument is there's so much interest in this one. I wonder, what are the tech software companies doing to rebalance to make their stock attractive again? Because now I'm seeing more of an American desire to invest internationally, with more patriotism going to non-American companies. Even when I was at the World Cup with Zan, them high cents, like we need to have if we pit China's big three tech products versus our big three, and Rashadi, we was talking about this in Atlanta, like if they sold those BYD cars here, it would be over with for Ford and Tesla. So do I think that there'll be a correction of some sort or an adjustment? Yes, but do I think this company is incredibly valuable? Without a shadow of a doubt. Is and the efficiency part. Like we can talk about bottlenecks, but out of the AI boom, the companies who really benefited were the ones who adjusted the business, who really delivered a return on value for the enterprise customers, and they did it great. So drama is going to benefit dramatically from it. My rule of thumb is the same. Wait 6 months. There are no exceptions to that rule, but I would definitely be looking for a price point to get into it after 6 or 7 months for sure. I like a long term. But two things can be true, Rashad. Like there can be an adjustment in sector overall, but these two will be the superstars in that space for sure.
These two, what, Micron and SK Hynix?
Yeah.
I'll just add this because this is important too, right? So like, yes, you'll have, if you're already in drama, you have exposure to it. The idea that this is a South Korean company, I'm glad you brought that up. And we know this administration is about making American companies the forefront of innovation. I'll say this, right? If you look at every hyperscaler, pick one. If high bandwidth memory doesn't perform or it can't execute at its function, these hyperscalers businesses will drastically suffer. NVIDIA won't be able to sell compute. Meta, Microsoft, Google, they all have the same issue that is needed, and that's the memory. He texted me this over the weekend. I said, optimistically, obviously, but I'd be interested to see how fast, because I've already seen ETFs being built for SK Hynix already.
Yeah, right? For sure.
Leverage ETFs are being built. I'll be interested to see how fast VanEck puts SK Hynix into SMH. and what
Yeah,
allocation will be at. Those are the type of things you should watch, right? Will SOXX have exposure to SK Hynix and what allocation? That'll tell you the importance and the money. And so when you see this IPO, yes, retail investors have access. But the most important piece is that institutional firms now have access and can integrate them into their funds. And so that's what I'll be watching for as well.
And above 8% is like a key. Like if it's 8 to 10%,
they love it.
Boy, it's a home run. Home run.
So for the leader in the space, which is Micron.
They're not the leader in the space.
Who's the leader?
So SK Hynix is the leader. They're the number one high bandwidth memory company in the world. Samsung is number 2. Micron is number 3. Micron is the American leader.
Yeah, this is like if Wemby performed in the finals.
Well, okay. How you define it? Samsung? What's Samsung's market cap?
It's like 1 point. They're all in the 1.3 to 1 trillion. They're all. That's crazy. Like they're all at number 12, 13, and 14 on the market cap list.
Samsung market cap, 1.9.
Yeah. Trillion, right?
Yep.
So Micron, who just had a blowout earnings, historic actually, and is actually at a lower point now than it was when it reported their earnings. And that's something that Bilal was talking about last week when he said like that's kind of a sign that's not a good sign when it's like expectations have already been baked in, when nothing that you can do can actually move the needle. And it moved the needle the first day, but it's been sliding back since. So, okay, if historic earnings have not increased the stock price, is that a sign of the times of what has been happening with stocks going lower after earnings and then they've gone up over the course of time? Or is it the beginning stages to say that the companies are good, they're solid, they're not like they're fluke companies, but it's run up so much that the price increase has already been built in? Kind of like NVIDIA. You could make an argument that's why NVIDIA hasn't moved, because the price increase has already been built in.
If I can take this real quick, everyone go on ChatGPT or Claude and ask what is the expected higher end return for every tech company on earth. Micron is going to be within a standard 2 deviation. NVIDIA is doing the same thing. Like the days of they're not going to have a 4-year run where they get 2,000% return. I think that's unfair to ask for. I think it will come to an attractive price point. But once again, when did 40 and 50% returns in a year become failure?
Yeah.
I don't understand the equivalent of like if a player scores 90 points in a game, legit, shot the bam, but like legitimate 90, and then he goes back to scoring 37. It's like, no, he's not failing. He's just calibrating to whatever his average is. So I think in a world where they have blockbuster returns, and this is a part of the rotation, they're going to hunt for the next 1,000% return company.
Yeah.
There are not many to pick from. So buy it at an attractive price. I do think expectations need to be modified, but if anyone think that Micron is going to fall apart overnight and that their story is over with,
no,
you're sadly mistaken, yo.
You definitely are mistaken. I'll add this to it, and that's why I think the historical data is important. And so if we watch what happened last quarter, it did the exact same thing, right? I think you touched on it a little bit earlier, Ian. When people miss a run, they're going to allow it to pull back to a point where it becomes even more attractive, so they can now buy into that. And so, it did blow out its earnings, but it did that in Q1, and we watched it get down to 300. In fact, there were posts that were made about this. Maybe you guys remember about the fall of it. And here we are at, over 900. To
feeding flamingos, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, that turned into a flamingo post, right? Yeah, we can't have the short-term vision. I know it feels like, oh my gosh, like, guys, you're up 600%. You're up 400%. Like, these type of numbers are not even like realistic for any.
And we're talking about the stock, not the stock, the option. Yeah. It's like, bro, what are we talking about?
This company is not going anywhere. In fact, I have a new price target for it that is not sitting anywhere under 1,000. And so we just got to be mindful and be patient with it, right? We've already laid out the case for it. We understand that high bandwidth memory is going to be and continue to be in demand. We understand that it's sold out for this year and sold out for next year. The strategic partnerships, it's all laid out for you. The idea is, will you invest and will you hold it and be disciplined about holding the position?
Is your price point 1,600?
It's right in that ballpark. It's in that ballpark. Yeah, not far.
1570.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in that ballpark.
Hold for the long term.
Okay. AI bubble warning. There's been a recent AI bubble warning issued, a new one. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't know if bubble is the right term, but a few institutions have issued this warning. We'll get to Alex in a second. I do think that the AI promise has not been delivered. Like, I asked a question last week and it was slightly controversial for whatever reason after, but shout out to everyone at Microsoft. I love you guys dearly from the bottom of my heart. One of my favorite companies of all time. Satya, one of my favorite CEOs ever, better than Tim Cook, et cetera, et cetera. You can't run your business off Copilot. Like, for all the automations that we have, and shout out to Perplexity and everything's Ty done, shout out to Alicia Little. Still to this day, I can't set up all these agents and then just go off to Mexico and do no work for 2 weeks and come back and the agents have everything done. The first company that provides that kind of premise and return, they're going to, and as a result, with even AI not delivering as well as it should, it's obliterated the software category. So bubble, no. I think people forget even in the .com era, it took a while for things to be calibrated. I don't think it'll take that long, but I think we may be 3 or 4 years off from having systems of scale and tech at scale that really allows you to offload your workforce and the cost isn't so high to be able to do so. So I wouldn't say bubble, but it hasn't delivered on the return that it was initially promised. If you can lay off your workforce and enjoy more of your life and be off grid and just let the LLMs run in the background, like, that premise isn't there. Like, do you guys know of anyone? I've asked this question to probably 200 people over the last year. No one is just leaving their business to be run solely by LLM.
Yeah. The idea, I mean, I think one of the greatest minds that has lived through both and his business has been benefited tremendously because of it spoke on this recently. Jeff Bezos was asked about the bubble, and he said, I want you to think of it like this. Right now, businesses are being done in terms of picks and shovels, right? Like, people are manually doing the work. He said, think of AI as a bulldozer. So if you were digging with a pick and a shovel, well, a bulldozer is about to come and make everything happen a lot faster, more efficiently, and have more scale. And so the actual task won't be replaced. How we get the task done will be altered. So companies will survive. Some will falter, but that's business, and that's what happens inside of revolutions, especially in the technology space. And he has a great vantage point because in 1997, look at what his company was. And in 2026, obviously he's not the CEO anymore, but look at what that company has grown to, right? Because he was able to adapt, he was able to use the technology to his advantage, and he was able to scale it. So that's how we have to look at it. The AI bubble, we've been talking about this thing for at least 18 months now, man. I'm like, okay, if there's going to be a bubble, let's find the companies that are going to be here when this so-called bubble bursts. Who will be the standing companies? I think we're spot on with the ones that we've been saying.
For sure.
But we'll see. Time will tell, and I think we're going to be on the right side of it.
Shah, what are your thoughts?
Bubble is relative. I feel like, there's a lot of companies that, well, this actually leads to the Atlas Karp clip. Let's actually look. Let's play this. Let's play the clip from Atlas because this kind of just leads into this conversation.
The Alex Karp go on CNBC last week and torch the entire AI business model. Like, Becky Quick had to stop him mid-rant. Like, You sound pretty angry. And his response? This is the voice of American business channeled through me. I mean, his rants are usually pretty epic, but I think he hit on two sticking points that'll really decide how AI diffuses through the economy. Number one is that enterprises are losing trust in a lot of these AI model companies. He's saying because they're not safe, and safe is a little bit different than you think, so let's hear him out.
Safe because it doesn't touch your unlearning data. Safe because it prevents the large language model from caching your data and replicating your business. Safe because it doesn't transfer your IP of how to fight, secret data, top secret data, or in a clinical context.
And the second is that a lot of these large enterprise customers are now wanting to own the entire AI stack. Compute, models, their data, all of it. Again, take it away, Alex. But here's the structural problem that he's calling out. Your edge as a company depends on that proprietary data. Your AI vendor depends on their models getting smarter. And how do you think they do that? So there's a collision course because the labs aren't just selling tokens anymore. They're not.
Okay. So Alex Karp, he went on a whole rant on CNBC about AI, his frustration with a lot of AI companies.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he's been known to go on rants from time to time about a variety of different things. But okay, so back to the AI bubble thing. AI bubble, yeah, for sure, because a lot of the companies are not built on anything foundationally strong. They're just putting AI in front of their name and just saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like you said, I personally have yet to see AI do a variety of different things that people think it can do. Like, even if you look at our world, like AI cannot create content. If it did, everybody would be a content creator.
Yeah.
I know this firsthand.
Is it yet or just?
Well, until it's done, we can't. It can help you make content.
Yeah, it can't make it. It can't future project. It can go off the past.
It can make content. It's not good. It's not good enough.
Not great.
It's not great. It's not great. But I can't. You would think, okay, I could just make. I don't think I do no work. I could just make a video. I'm gonna have AI cut up, and then it's gonna get 1 million views, and that's gonna be my pathway to become the next Logan Paul. It has not happened. It has.
And I like Opus Clip, but it's
who
not.
has it happened for? Who's it happened for?
I just watched a AI travel channel that has like 10 million followers, completely made up. She goes in history and takes you through history, and it feels like
I'll follow that page. Yeah,
you follow that page. So like,
yeah, but even that's different. That's utilizing AI to give you, like, we have a French Montana.
I'm not saying like what we do, but like in terms of content,
but we can say that because we use AI for our content.
Yeah.
So we have French Montana episode. A few of those clips, one clip went viral, had 1 million views. We use AI in it because it's narrating, telling the story. That's different. That's still an editor that's actually knows what they're doing. That's placing AI in it, utilizing. That's still work involved. I'm saying as far as the hands-free pilot, I don't got to do nothing.
Autonomous.
I'm chilling. Autonomous. AI is doing everything for me. That hasn't happened yet. So
that's okay. That's
AI, the idea of AI, I think, is ahead of the reality of AI. The idea of AI is ahead of the reality of AI in a lot of different places. We still don't have the Jetsons car that we supposed to have 25 years ago. Still waiting for that to happen. Like, there's still pilots in the sky. We're supposed to have autonomous planes by now, like commercial. I mean, that's what you would think would happen at this point in time in 2026. Like that's what was the promise
based
to us.
on what? Was that
in 90? The Jetsons came out in what, 70?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm saying AI, the current state of AI, the revolution that's happened over the past 3 years. What like we're just doing large language models right now. So like, what are you basing that off of?
Even the large language models are still being prompted. So what I'm saying, like what Ian said, there's still a person attached to it. This idea that humans are going to be not needed anymore, that's the narrative that's been pushed a lot. Humans will be no longer needed. I haven't seen that. The idea of AI has gotten ahead of the practicality of AI. Of course, AI is going to be here. AI is going to change the world. AI is changing the world every single day. But there's a lot of companies that's just coming up with random ideas for AI, and it's not going to work. And when that happens, a lot of these companies are going to fall by the wayside.
And
I'm not sure I agree, but okay.
Tell me why, Troy.
Well, I think we're so early inside of it. I think the argument that's fair to make is that we haven't seen the revenue generated from the spend in AI, and that takes time.
Yeah,
right?
it's negative.
So we still don't have infrastructure yet. We still don't have energy yet. The applications are still trying to put software hasn't even been put out. Yeah, you have a few models, platforms that you use. You have 5 now. But like that's drastically going to change in the next 5 years, right? So I think we're so early that argument I think still needs time to come to fruition, right? Like obviously, agentic will be here at some point in the near future. Autonomous, it's going to happen. It's going to take time for it to happen. I think that the fair argument from my standpoint would be, and I could agree, and kind of what Alex is saying here is yes. The spend and the capex, where's the return? The other
There's
part
no return.
For a lot of companies, yet, right? Mm-hmm. You wouldn't say that for Micron. There's been a return.
Yeah, I said they were the smart, SK Hynix, NVIDIA, but the premise of Dell, but for OpenAI, like I've been using chat since end of 21 or 22. Even the premise there on the business side or consumer side, a lot of the stuff that it said it could do, it hasn't been able to do. Even like when Charlamagne made that post, like, Ian, you're in trouble, open AI out. And Schultz is like, no, you need human intuition. Like it can, and even for investing, OpenAI, when you prompted it last InvestFest for what the next stocks were going to be, it got all of them wrong. So I think there's a way to go, but I think the initial premise and promise for what is being spent in terms of like he talked about token pricing, and then the thing I've been always asking, how do you get 5x return? I said it with OpenAI. Why you need to sell 5% of OpenAI off to the government if you got a machine that can replicate God? Well, you're bullshitting on one side or another.
And it's just guessing. Elon Musk, you change a company from a car company to a robotic company. There's no need to have 100 million humanoid robots. It's not going to happen. It's a fairy tale. That's a fairy tale. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Because if that's the case, they would have just traded the arbitrage on all. If the model was that fucking great to open, shout to OpenAI. But if the model was that great, you would have traded arbitrage every day to not raise capital. That was the first sign to me this shit wasn't working. That's why Anthropic does not have that issue.
That's why I think the key word is yet, right? Because the one thing that we do know about the models is that even as we're talking, they're getting better, right? And so 3 years ago, we sat here to a T, like you said, OpenAI would lead. You said OpenAI would lead. Is it our leader today?
No, it adjusted. And I was the first one that said adjustment came.
So that goes to the case that models are getting better, right? In a year, we might not even say OpenAI is our leader. It might be something different because something would have surpassed it. So we're still early in this.
I think they've already been surpassed. And I brought up and also too, the Elon, that's why I always be telling y'all, that beef shit, it doesn't help. The Elon battle destroyed the company because the lengths he was willing to go. And then here comes Anthropic. They take the lead. The model is better. Anytime they get the action for that 200, cool. Yeah.
So
I'm happy with it.
Well, and that kind of ties back into the NVIDIA piece, right? I'm going to put the capital, I'm going to give the compute, and let's see who comes back with the thing that is going to lead. I think that I watched that thing live. So if you haven't seen it, it's a 7-minute segment. But I'm glad we cut this piece because he keeps bringing the word up, safe. Mm-hmm. And if you think about safe, I keep hearing him talking about, in my mind, he's talking about his own company. Why are getting beat? Why are we getting beat when these people aren't making money and we have the idea and the platform and the technology to keep
He was talking his own book for sure.
Right. We want to keep you safe, right? We have the government contracts. Our platform is the place. Those applications aren't ready yet. These people are trying to spend. Now the AI model is, hey, we're going to build inside of our in-house, which again, two things can be true because I just read the report that Broadcom and Google might say, hey, you know what? We're going to use our own silicon to build our own TPU. We may not need you anymore. At the same time, Apple says, okay, cool. Broadcom, you're going to be our partner into 2031, right? So people are saying, how can we keep the stack inside? The problem with that theory is that how many companies can afford to keep the entire stack in-house?
Not many, bro.
Three, maybe? Not even. Google, Amazon, maybe.
And Apple,
Microsoft,
they'll put up some money, but they won't.
but they won't. So
Yeah.
that's such a limited space of
Yeah.
how many people can actually do that, right? So it become not a monopoly, but I mean, it is a monopoly in a sense if I'm doing everything in-house. So he's saying the right thing, but he's also promoting what they do, right? Because why is the software space getting beat down? Right?
And AI is software. That's the other funny part of that equation.
That's what I'm saying.
For those of you who don't know, AI is software. But going back to the picks and shovels,
Yeah.
Micron, AMD, Intel, when they got selected, they made a great return on capital conversation. Put this in chat. Every business is in the hedge fund business. How much money can I make you? How much can I save you? How reliable can I be? If I made you money, please put yes in chat. What OpenAI has not done, they haven't done a great job of letting the consumer base know how much easier your life can be. Even like when OpenClaw came out, that was an issue. DeepSeek was an issue. And then also too, we haven't had an American company that is open sourcing yet. That's the real Trojan horse and threat.
Yes.
That could lead to enterprise growth, kind of like, but now we get into the Microsoft, we're going to open source it and let you be in our ecosystem. But with open sourcing, there's going to come some IP and idea theft. It happened with Word. For those of you who don't know, like even though Microsoft, my biggest favorite company of all time, the origins are still nefarious.
So even if they open source, what platform will they build on? Where's the first place they going?
Oh, you gotta go home, yo. You gotta go to the mothership.
So even the open source, right? You can see CUDA still being the software that they're going to build on.
Yeah, you got to go to the mothership, and that's why like the suppression of NVIDIA. Because if we argue moats, they literally have governmental moats on both sides. They have the spend, they have the hardware, they have the platform, the partnership, and likability. I don't get the compression. I really don't. But it's going back to people are just chasing a return and not chasing quality.
I saw somebody in the chat said 300 by the end of the year. I'm not mad at NVIDIA at like in the 270s by the end of the year. I can see the path for it. The consolidation now, is it frustrating? Yeah. What's also frustrating is that people tell me like, yo, NVIDIA doesn't move. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like,
because everybody's looking to trade. They're not looking to invest. And that shit breaks my heart because you're gonna see me in like in one of them other countries or with another place, and you're like, man, I should have listened. You should have. You should have. It doesn't move for the gambler in you. If you have some capital in it, 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, it is a beacon of safety. For sure.
What's the outlook for TSM?
TSM is, for those not in the know, the number one manufacturer and packaging company for semiconductors in the world. I think at this point, they produce 80 to 90% of the world's semiconductors. And so when I talk about my favorite companies, this is at the top of the list. When we talk about the most important companies, obviously at the top of the list, they report on the 16th, which I believe is next Wednesday. Early expectations right now, they're looking at a 50% jump in revenue, which is absolutely ridiculous. The future guidance looks like they're going to increase it as well. I think TSM, and I like that it reports early. It reports before everybody.
Yeah.
Because it will tell us, are they getting orders from NVIDIA? How high? Right? Last quarter, they said NVIDIA's orders were in such high demand that they passed Apple as their number one client. Right? So much so that TSM said, okay, we've got so much demand that we might have to offshoot some of our demand to some of these companies, which is why we talked about Amcor as a company that's going to be a beneficiary of that. There's another company, but it's a South Korean one, ACI, that we can't directly invest in, so we'll go with Amcor for now. But that demand story will be on the forefront. Is NVIDIA still having that same level of demand? Is Apple's demand, is the appetite still there? Is AMD's demand still there? AMD is like, I mean, was up $20 today. Just quietly at I think it was at 570 today. What does that demand story look like? You're going to see the AI hyperscalers come to the forefront. And if TSM is able to say, hey, demand has peaked again. Now we're going to see another start of ticking up of that semiconductor space and the technology space, because CapEx hasn't slowed down. In fact, it's getting increased. The demand hasn't slowed down. Have companies pulled back? Yeah. Have people taken profits? Yeah. You know my favorite question. Has the story changed?
No. TSM should be at 618 months. And we can argue if it was American born and bred, it'd probably be number one.
We're getting closer.
for real. Like, hold for the long term. And before we wrap, I don't know if we're close to wrapping. Please put this in chat. I only need 4 stocks to hold on to for a lifetime. I had an interesting conversation with a brother in Stock Club. His granddad in 1980, shout out to Stock Club, put yes in chat if you saw it in Telegram. 80 shares, if you would have held it through all the splits, would have turned into 17,000 shares. So even in the desire to want to sell off early, some of these companies are going to have to split. And then you go from having 100 shares to 1,000 shares, or 100 to 500. There's only upside potential if you're holding equities for a long period of time. You only need 4 that you're going to marry. Like even Rashad talked about it earlier. Even with QQQ, you can't go wrong. I know some of you going, but what about TQQQ? And what about TECO? Yeah, you can add the exotics on top of it, but your core 4 have to be ones that you never, like, you never wake up in the middle of the night worried about VOL or VTI or VUG or QQQ. You only need 4. My question for you is, why are you not executing? Because you want to gamble.
Mm-hmm.
And if you gamble, you deserve to be broke. I think you deserve to be rich and wealthy. Hold for the long term. But at this point, I'm being real. Do what you want to do. If you want to blow through your money and mess up your money, I'm not. If you want to, I love that for you.
You're right.
I really do.
Well, you're right. You're right. Have it your way.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Get your tickets to Invest Fest, August 7th through August 9th in Atlanta. This is going to be one for the history books.
For real.
A lot going on. A lot going on. Check us out Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Blackout. We will be live.
A lot to talk about. We may do some call-ins.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
Yeah.
And Thursday, check us out at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We got Swader Pro, who's going to be breaking down the Salon suite industry in detail.
Yeah, and huge shout out to, I should have said this earlier, but huge shout out to EYL regional groups. Obviously during Juneteenth and over the holiday here, Father's Day, they had incredible meetups. I want to give a huge shout out to all the leaders. Watching y'all execute, even when we're not there, speaks volumes. So shout out to Atlanta, shout out to Chicago, shout out to Michigan, obviously New York and New Jersey. Love is love. We are 30 days away, y'all.
We are 30 you told me earlier, my heart started pounding. I'm like
30 days away from everybody coming together for the big family reunion called Invest Fest. So I'm looking forward to meeting and seeing everybody.
Shout out to my Morocco friends. I'm not a bandwagon person, but shout out to my Moroccan friends. Had an amazing time at the match, and oh my God, my heart broke yesterday when Jude got busy early against Mexico.
Shout out to Jude, man. I support my Jamaican brother.
On cooking, bro. I said, you got that second goal. I said, oh, it's over with.
Star, he's a star.
And we're gonna talk about it on Blackout. We're gonna talk about the World Cup on Blackout.
We got smashed. Pause.
We're
gonna talk about the World Cup on Blackout.
Damn.
There's a lot going on, a lot of racist comments being made, a lot of
saw that. Shout out to Cape Verde. Shout out to everybody, Cape Verde. I know we have a large population of supporters out in Rhode Island. Magda,
shout
what's
out
up?
To the Cape Verdeans. I had no clue.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, y'all you know what?
Hey, fellas, we're going to talk on Blackout.
The what?
The World Cup play?
Remember what we said earlier, man?
What we say?
Yep, see?
Tune in Wednesday.
See, there you go, man.
Yeah, tune in on Wednesday, man. shout out to all the teams out there. You know, my team Brazil. I'm rocking with France now. You know, they colonized.
How you do that?
What?
How you just jumped the team?
Mbappe, the world's greatest.
Yeah, he
I've
can't
always,
jump.
I've
You
always
can't
said
jump a
that.
country, man.
I've always said that. I've been consistent with my support of Mbappe. He's the world's greatest
Yeah,
World's
Uh,
greatest what?
football player.
footballer. He different, bro.
Footballer. It's a fact. That boy
Mbappe is my
different.
guy.
He's
That boy
different, bro.
Oh, of
That
course.
boy's different.
Generational talent.
Yeah,
Look,
he's a
look,
generational talent.
Number 10 is still playing. Let's just be mindful.
2026.
He's
I'm not talking about all-time career. I'm talking about 2026.
2026. He's leading right now.
They tied.
Well, Haaland's tied with him too.
Yeah,
Shout out
they all tied.
the Viking.
together.
That dude.
They tied.
That dude's crazy.
Fellas, if you can get to that Brazil game, though.
Yeah.
Colombia's still in it.
Colombia is playing tomorrow.
Colombia.
Egypt tomorrow. They said they got the number one support base.
That's how you know I've been focused. I ain't go to none of them games.
They're playing in Houston. Nah. I'm not. They might be playing in Houston actually. Argentina, Egypt is in Atlanta tomorrow.
Locked in. Yeah, get your tickets to InvestFest. Support me when I get on stage Sunday and tear down shit because I ain't go to none of them games on the extracurriculars.
We need the Colombian Massive to pull up. We need Cape Verde to pull up. We need a couple countries.
Cape Verdeans, boy. Whew. The Moroccan fans was tough. Energy crazy. But high sense, I'm gonna be real. Some of them brands, Shotty, that you saw in China, thank God that they aren't sold here in America.
I'm rocking with Hisense. I'm rocking with them. I got a few TVs, 2 Hisense TVs. I like them. Fire.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all be good. Y'all be good to each other. Call somebody, reach out to somebody. The summer is here. And if you don't have any motion out there, it gets really difficult. So get outside. Now, you got to get outside. You got to explore.
You giving blackout energy too? Okay.
Meet some people. You know what I mean? Open yourself up to new relationships. They're important. And let's make the best of our time here together. Let's do that.
Okay. We need to do a market month, like a blackout after dark one day. It's one time. Yeah.
Y'all be good, man. Love is love.
Do we have